Well, if it isn't the World Wide Web. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into my TubeView channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make an artsy collage by cutting up different landscape pictures and then piecing them back together. And be sure to stick around till the end of the video because I'm going to be giving away a print of one of these collages that I make right here in this tutorial. All right, let's get artsy. Basically what I'm doing is cutting up different pieces and different textures from photos and putting them together in a new way. The sky can start as just a straight edged rectangle, but then all the other pieces, I do different varying widths of curvy sort of sloped lines that look like mountains and hills and sand. And it does definitely help. You can see that those grayscale rock pictures are thin, and then that orange mountain at the top of the frame is thicker. The matte over just kind of finishes up and polishes it nicely. I don't necessarily want to glue these down because I reuse the pieces and move them around for different collages, and my end plan is to scan all of these anyway and blow them up to a larger size. So I'm just kind of taping the front temporarily so that it stays together, but I can still take it apart if I want to later. I love this picture. I do love these brown tones. I'm following the line of some of the shapes I see in the photo already, but you don't necessarily have to do that. So now we have the sky from one photo, the mountain from another, and I'm just kind of piecing them together. I love this like brownish peach. So I wanted to add a little pop of color with the flowers, and on the back I sometimes draw in what kind of shape I want. I'm not thinking too much about it. So I just kind of have a collection of a bunch of different landscape photos that I've taken from a lot of traveling trips that I've done. And in this particular landscape that I put together, I printed most of the images on a deep matte finish paper, but then the flower fields, like the tulips, are on luster paper. So at first I wanted to make sure that you can kind of see a little bit better now that I'm doing a close-up. At first I wanted all the texture of the paper to be the same, but then I realized I kind of liked the effect that it was giving. I love this stormy sky, so I'm going to steal the stormy sky from that photo. I really like this landscape on this photo, how this little path is kind of splitting through the green grass. And I want to try to make the illusion of like a lake in the background, but for some reason it's not really looking like a lake, and so I figured we might need to add some mountains, and then the lake is in front of the mountain, and then we have a little bit of green grass and a path that's leading to the lake. I don't know. I'm not super thrilled with the way this looks, so I think I kind of keep adding in some different hills and mountains. That might blend a little bit too much. I'm not sure if there's enough contrast between those two different, they're kind of dark to go right next to each other. So I'm always kind of thinking about contrast and if one layer and one element pops when it's laid down next to another one. I'm searching my archive for something that could work. I'm looking at this and I kind of like the green. It's just a bokeh tree or something. I don't even know what that picture is. And I'm thinking about how I can add that in to kind of look like a little bit of a grassy foreground. I don't hate it. Maybe I'll switch out the sky. Maybe add in another mountain. I really need some more green grass photos, I realized when I was putting this together. I like that. I think that the horizontal landscape works well for this one. Okay, moving on. For this particular one, I'm inspired to do something like you'd find in the Swiss countryside with green rolling hills and flowers and blue skies and clouds. I know that this is kind of, the tulips here are a little bit large compared to like the clouds. A tulip is not the same size as a cloud, but it's art, so it doesn't necessarily need to make sense. I think this yellow could work actually. Again, putting on the matting at the end just to kind of clean up the edges and see what it would look like if it was framed out. Then I had the idea to add these cute little houses into the mix somehow. I really love the way that the little houses look in there. So now I know when I'm traveling to always be on the lookout for a pretty sky, some pretty rolling hills, definitely water, all types of water textures, ocean, lakes, rivers, frozen water, flowing water. And then now I shall add in houses because I really like the way that looks. I'm going to play around with a bunch of different shades of blue, like an icy, bluey iceberg type scene. So some of these pieces that I'm playing with actually aren't even water. Like that piece there is a rock or something that I found in my neighborhood that I just took a close-up of. So you don't necessarily have to use pictures of water to make water, and you can do any, like even if it's blue, that could be enough to show that it's water. That piece right there in my hand is a sky, but I liked it sandwiched in between those waves because it did kind of break it up a little bit, and it's blue, so yay, water. I love the way this looks. It's very wintry, right? Oh, magical hand dance break. Okay, blue and orange are complementary colors on the color wheel, so I love that kind of contrasty pop, and I wanted to do something very orangey. Ooh, no, meh. There we go. All of these textures are printed on a deep matte paper, so they all have the same finish on the photo. And I went ahead and scanned it, and this is what it looks like all said and done. I also wanted to note that I was inspired to do this idea from another YouTube video by this woman who cuts up different pieces of fabric instead of photos and actually quilts them together, and she calls it accidental landscapes. So I will link her video below as well. So the print giveaway, I'll link the gallery below if you want to purchase a print. I'm also going to be giving away a print for free, and all of that's happening over on my Instagram. So you can go to @Schmathrin. You'll see this video in a shortened form on my feed, and you just click on that and it'll tell you what you have to do to enter. It's easy peasy. Hope you liked my little art project and that you found it inspiring in some way. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Is this where I'm supposed to ask people to subscribe?